add to stage.
There we go.
All right, we're here, guys.
There we are.
Yeah.
Welcome back, guys. Welcome back.
Welcome.
Season 8, episode 10.
Ooh, look at us.
I know, right? We did it.
We did it. We have officially completed season 8.
I just said it.
I know you did. I know you did. But for some reason, I was about to say 10 because that's the episode. But whatever. Anyways, we're here. Thank you guys for being here with us.
Yes. Thank you.
So, shall we get started?
I'm Maine.
Oh, shoot. I'm shy. Y'all should know that by now. Like, we're giving y'all face and audio now.
Maybe they're new here.
Ain't that new?
Maybe they're new.
I hope you knew, actually. Welcome
Yeah.
new people. This is the only aspect where I welcome new people. Most times I'm like, questionable.
Shreya, please.
Questionable. Anywho. All right, you ready for question of the day?
I am.
Okay, so if you could instantly master any musical instrument, which one would it be?
These dance moves are insane. Any musical instrument. I already know what your answer is going to be. Mine would probably be piano.
Okay, that's a good one.
Yeah, I already know what yours is going to be.
How do you know?
Because I know you.
Honestly, anybody that knows me should know this answer. And the answer is the drums. Definitely. I want to be a drummer so bad. So bad.
See,
and
you should have got in on them lessons when we was kids.
I tried to, but so I had signed up in elementary school, but I didn't quite ask for permission. And my mama got me kicked out the band and never played a drum since then.
And it's a sad sound.
So sad.
I played piano for a little bit. I just didn't stick with it, but it's in there. It's in the recess of my brain somewhere.
Okay. I've never actually played an instrument. As far as music, I feel like dance is it for me. I didn't even know, I wouldn't even consider dance part of music, but apparently it is.
I mean, I feel like they group it under arts as a whole. So I could see the correlation.
Yeah. I'm like, whatever. I got a little two-step for y'all. I can't play no drums.
Girl.
I'll learn one day, maybe.
Okay. Are you ready for Do You Know Your Detroit Business?
I am quite literally never ready for this.
I feel like 10 episodes in, you should be able to get this.
We shall see.
Okay. So this is a true or false question.
Oh, I like those.
Okay.
50-50 chances, baby.
Okay. So
this is why I want to be on video, y'all, because now y'all gonna see my dance moves.
True or false? Detroit is home to the world's only floating post office.
My first question is, what the hell is a floating post office?
We'll get to that in a moment, but answer the question first.
I am gonna say true.
Yes.
Yay! Because we're trendsetters.
So it also has its own zip code.
Oh, okay.
But a floating post office is exactly what you think it is. It's a post office on the water.
Okay. That's definitely not what I was thinking.
What did you think?
I don't know.
You thought it was floating in the air?
It was just levitating.
Okay.
Who needs gravity?
What? Who would that serve? The alien?
I don't know. That's why I'm like, what is that? Was it just hanging out somewhere? Or I thought it might be like a almost like a pop-up. Traveling. I don't know. But
a traveling post office.
Hey, I've seen some interesting stuff.
Okay.
All right. So that was an easy question.
Yes.
Thanks. Finally.
Oh my God. They're all easy questions. Guys.
Whatever.
You can listen to them and hear them.
Whatever. Actually, I went to the Riverwalk the other day and I was like, this is not 32 miles.
I know they was probably looking at you like this, but
I'm like, this is not 32 miles. They lying.
Okay,
Whatever.
sure I am.
Whatever. Anywho, so today's topic, I feel like the responsible thing to do is to give some type of advisory.
Oh, like
don't do drugs.
Yeah. Yeah, obviously. Yeah, it's called something, but I can't think of what else it was called. So yeah, don't do drugs, kids.
Don't do drugs, kids, and parental advisory warning.
Whatever, all of that.
Hopefully, ain't no kids listening to us anyway.
No, it's not really a trigger warning, I guess.
Yeah, because I was gonna say that, but maybe it is a trigger warning. Trigger warning, caution,
drugs,
rated R, whatever. We about to talk about drugs. Like, I don't, I really don't know the best way to put that, but we are going to talk about the rising use of marijuana or cannabis, Mary Jane, whatever you want to call it, specifically in the workplace. So recently, what's that thing? SHRM, Society of Human Resource Management.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. It does. But they released an article discussing the use of cannabis specifically amongst Gen Z in the workplace. So it kind of brought up some topics that we thought would be interesting to discuss on the podcast.
And even the title, like, the title of the article is Evolving Norms, Emerging Risks, Cannabis Use in a Gen Z Workforce. And I think it's really interesting because although the article highlights Gen Z, when we think about cannabis use and when we think about, workplace attitudes towards it, you can point to when there was a hard shift.
Yeah.
Like when it was like D.A.R.E.
Yeah.
And like don't do drugs. And
don't do the drugs.
And all of like the drug commercials and stuff. And then like society just kind of like maybe we can make money off this.
Actually,
and so
money.
But I think using Gen Z as the focal point
kind of crazy.
Yeah, of like the emerging attitudes or emerging shift to attitudes is what that was my first point of the article where I was like, interesting observation there.
Yeah. And I also think too with a lot of these articles, Jermaine and I are going to nitpick it a little bit differently because of our educational training.
Yes, absolutely.
So we are pretty much trained to tear our article apart.
Well,
so
yeah. But also and diving a little bit deeper into why I think the headline itself is very interesting choice is that Gen Z historically is like just now coming into the workplace.
Yeah, I was gonna say that like they're fairly new.
Yeah, like
and so my question is if they're new into the workforce and they using cannabis this much.
Dang, but I have a perfect example in my day job. We are currently training a young lady. She just graduated with her master's degree, but she's like, "This is my first big girl job," and I'm like,
"Oh,
I remember
the days."
But yeah, so like. I do think that I have seen over the past maybe decade or so, employers' attitudes change in relation to drug testing, and impairment testing. But it's interesting that Gen Z is the focal point here.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting to see because they pointed out in the article that jobs are having to change their policies because most jobs, I know, like with my job. If you have an injury or anything, one of the first things you have to do is a drug test.
Yeah.
But they were talking about how now that's not completely fair,
right?
Because it doesn't
in your system.
Yeah, it doesn't account for if it's in your system or if you're high now. Which they're gonna have to do some adjusting there. I think that it'll kind of come over time.
Well, and I also think like. It's obviously an industry by industry thing because of course there are certain industries where we just know for a fact I don't want this person high. Like I don't want my pilot blow. You know?
But at the same time, it's like what my pilot does when he's not on this plane. Okay? I don't care.
When you off the clock, not my business. However, when you get behind that cockpit, I need you.
Okay, we don't need no
focused and ready.
Denzel. Okay? And what was that movie?
When he was drunk,
it's like October 10th, 11th, 12th. I'm drunk right now.
But that also brings up a good point too, because oftentimes when impairment is brought up in the workplace, it's synonymous with alcohol and drug use. Now, while we are seeing shifting attitudes towards cannabis, there is still that hard line with alcohol, with harder, like you don't want somebody on meth at work.
Yeah.
You just don't, you know?
And I feel like even for those type of things, like some stuff, I mean, let's be honest about it. We know it just doesn't pop on a test.
Yeah.
You know, people know how long stuff is in their system and
Yeah.
what they need to do. So they're going to make adjustments. They've been doing it for years. It's probably not going to stop anytime soon. But
they're functional addicts.
Yeah.
And what's so crazy is that there are, like, just as we're talking about industries that you would never want to see somebody under the influence in this type of role, there are industries where it's just like an open secret. Like if anybody has watched the show Industry, you know what I'm talking about. Like drugs is everywhere, and it's almost like a unspoken norm, an expectation, but you can't like. And then I think there was also a storyline. Was that Chicago Med? I think it was Chicago Med, where it was a storyline where one of the doctors was addicted to, I cannot remember what drug.
So every Chicago series, whether it's Fire, Med, PD, somebody on that stuff.
Hey,
it just is what it is.
Maybe it's Chicago. Just saying.
No shade.
No shade. But you know, there is that hard line where employers do have to draw, like, okay, they have to clearly define what impairment means.
Yeah. They have to not only define it, but also have a specific test and consistency in those tests.
Yeah, like, so this is what impairment means. Like if it's slurred speech, blah, blah, blah. And then you have to determine what substances are we looking for to identify this impairment.
Yeah. And I know like a lot of places they'll do like as part of their impairment or like use policies or testing, they'll do smell. Like we used to have people that would come in the call center
not you
smelling
not you
extra loud. I'm like,
not
bro,
who got that loud? That's all I think of. Who got that loud?
Who got it and why? Because now you finna piss me off. Because now I have to do extra work.
Why you bring it to work?
Why did you bring it to work? Like you could have just did that before you left the house, bro. And we might have been all right, but the fact that you chose not to is insane. But I was also thinking too, with cannabis and its impacts on people that are neurodivergent.
Yeah.
Like how in some cases it could be helping with their performance.
Well, and we saw it introduced to the masses medicinally, right? Like that was its first rollout. So we do know that there is some medicinal effects. That's why some people take it. Not everybody, but there is. So you also have to consider that. But then, you know, the conversation also needs to be around the larger perspective that society has taken on cannabis now versus what it was 20, 30 years ago. And it's people still locked up.
I will never understand that.
Cannabis charges. And it's like, y'all
are making money off of it.
Hello.
Y'all are profiting off of this.
It is a
and they are
stream. And it's
locked up for 23 hours a day. Like, come on now.
People in jail are like small drug charges.
And I feel like
weed, you know?
Yeah, and I feel like we have too much access to stuff for that to still be the case.
Yeah.
There's too much research, there's too much science that is literally telling us what to do here, and people are just not doing it. And I think that some of that will change too once it becomes legal on the federal level.
But see, I don't think so. Because we know, like, it's not as widely known, but we are starting to see more and more come out about how, again, it all ties back to money. Bodies equal money.
Yeah.
And no matter how you write the law, how you make it, there's like the people in power are still going to find a way.
Yeah, they're going to find a loophole every time.
Off of, especially because we know it's Black bodies that are, primarily in these spaces. And so then it's like, okay, it's legal federally, you know, there. So now what? They not about to be like, all right, y'all, our bad.
Yeah. I feel like, because even when it became legal, I guess on state levels, it was more so about the amounts. Like then it became, oh, you can't have this much. And it's like just enough to keep them people still in jail.
Yeah.
And it's like, come on now. We don't, it doesn't need to be that, especially if it's going to be to where you can't probably drive 10 blocks in the city and not see a dispensary.
And who is it benefiting? Like, honestly, who is this really benefiting?
Yeah.
To keep these people locked up. because it's not benefiting them. We know they're not
Right.
getting rehabilitated. So
It ain't it's proven that jail does not equal rehabilitation.
And that's like, I have listened to so many different podcast episodes and read so many research studies, and it's so interesting how, other countries have taken or modified their approach to rehabilitation, especially as it relates to crime and punishment. And the U.S. is just kind of like, nope, kill them.
The U.S. just simply does not care about the research that's out there about crimes, which is why people are still hooting and hollering about black on black crime. That it just does not, like, it's not a thing, y'all.
Okay, we're gonna tell y'all here, black on black crime does not exist. You can have proximity crime. Well, of course, if you are in close proximity to a similar, racial makeup of you, yes,
that's what's gonna happen.
That is your proximity. Right.
Yeah, exactly. Like, they literally just don't say white on white crime. Like, that's not a thing. We know it's a thing.
It's a false equivalency. It's a fallacy created to further detrimentalize us as a people.
Absolutely.
And y'all continue.
And y'all just keep going. What really makes me mad is when it's a person that looks like me.
Ooh.
Still hooting and hollering black on black crime. Like, instantly blocked, bro. Like, I'm not even about to keep having a conversation with you. Blocked. We're just gonna move on. Because, like, I had to make a status yesterday that said, sometimes I just have to remind myself that everybody was not hooked on phonics. Some of y'all cannot read, and I will not be arguing with y'all.
That. Listen, honestly, Detroit's literacy rate is very low. So,
yeah, I think the last time I looked at it was like, what, third or fourth grade? It was like fairly.
Child.
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad.
And reading is fundamental.
Yeah.
We know.
And then you have these long policies that they want us to vote on. They don't understand it. They don't understand. That's why it's not passing.
Language matters because please pay attention to how things are advertised and how they are written. There was a proposal a couple years ago, and people were going around like soliciting signatures, and the way it was written, you would think it's a good the voter protection. I can't remember what it's called in Michigan, but it's basically like to require voter ID, to require like you have to have a valid driver's license or passport or something to be able to vote. And people are like, oh, when they read it, and when the people who are soliciting signatures are describing it, you think, oh, this sounds, of course I need an ID to vote. Good. Like, of course you have to be a U.S., I want to prove that I'm a citizen to vote. But then you think about the larger context of it, and it's like, something ain't really right in the water about this.
Yeah. One. Like, at this point, just go ahead and put the jar of gumballs up on the thing and tell us to guess how many are in there.
Because baby, they and now we in this whole mess where then you actually realize the true implication of what these laws are, and they're not designed for your benefit. They're designed to make things more difficult for you as a black person.
Yeah, because
to exercise your right to vote.
And we know, like, with the longer proposals and things that people are probably not going to be able to comprehend due to their reading comprehension. When you see the billboards that are just like, vote no on this, like, do your own research so that you understand what you actually should be voting for. And please stop voting on name recognition. Please, for the love of God.
And you know what? This is a very poignant message, because we are getting ready to go into the August primaries for a lot of our state positions, a lot of our Senate positions, House of Representatives. I believe there will be some proposals coming up on the ballot this year. So please pay attention to who is running in your district.
Yes, do your research and look at their actions. Don't even vote based on party. Don't go on name and party. Do your research.
Do not go off name, because some people will use party as a way to hide their true intentions.
Yeah, because since when have we ever held politicians accountable? They just do what they need to do to get in there and then, get out, which is crazy. And then we wonder why we have situations like what we're talking about today, the cannabis issue, and people still sitting in jail because people are not, doing what they say they're going to do.
Well, and we are also seeing, and this is what frustrates me about when people say, oh, I don't vote or voting doesn't matter. Because obviously it does. If it didn't, they wouldn't be trying so hard to take the right away from you to be able to exercise it. And if you don't vote in your local elections, like state elections, that directly influences your environment. You may not feel like the voting for the president matters, even though it does.
It absolutely does. I want y'all to stop saying that.
School boards, like, you know, police positions, like all of these judges directly impact your neighborhood, your environment, the people that you look at every day. So to sit here and say, "Oh, I don't vote," is, I think, very irresponsible.
Oh. Sorry. My filter malfunctioned.
I think it's very irresponsible. And you know, people are like, "Well, I'm not my answer." That's another thing I can't stand.
I hate
like, if I was back then, they wouldn't have did that. They were sticking dogs on them, y'all.
And they were actually doing something. Like, our generation barely wants to stand up for anything.
That people was getting fire hose, dogs, pepper spray, shot at, shot.
And we can't stop going to freaking Target.
Ooh.
Like,
girl, I almost caught it. I almost caught it in this room.
We cannot do any. Like, come on, y'all. First of all, I feel like saying that is disrespectful to our ancestors.
Absolutely.
Because I don't know about y'all ancestors, but mine used to get down with the get down. Like, we can scrap it out. We can do whatever we need to do. But it's like, come on now. Like, just think about the things that we're saying and that we're putting out there. Because it's very clear. Like, if somebody wanted to cause further division, we're making it very easy for them.
And I hate people who try to say that and try to perpetuate this idea of being contrarian just for the sake of it.
Oh, yeah,
and
I
feel like we talked about this before. Yeah,
I hate it so much.
Like, you.
Do you have an original thought in your head? Is what I want to ask.
The devil don't need no help. The devil don't need no advocate.
Doesn't need any advocates. Heavy on that.
And honestly, most of the time when you're being contrarian, you're not even adding anything valuable to the conversation. You just want to be different.
You want the attention.
Being different. Yeah.
Yeah, you really just want the attention. We can just call it what it is. You're probably a people pleaser and no original thoughts in your brain. It's so sad. I hate that for you. You should probably pick up a book.
Because they can never really tell you why. It's always like a ladder. It's never a straight answer.
Yeah, and I always wonder what happened to being able to respectfully disagree with someone or argue with someone. Like, we don't have to be beefed out because I don't agree with your stuff. Some stuff we gonna be beefed out about. Over. Yeah, we definitely gonna be beefed out. We gonna beef over women's rights every single time.
Some stuff, I'm sorry, we just not. Yeah,
it's just not it. Like,
but. When I say people can't read, that means they also don't have the good comprehension skills that they need to be able to debate effectively.
Yeah, or even to know like what the topic is. Like, I feel like they get confused. They don't actually know the context of things. Like, using your context clues is like outdated.
And I also think that we experienced learning technology and media at a time where we still had resources available to us as kids and as teenagers. And we're seeing now a lot of those resources have been stripped away due to politics, lack of funding, or whatever the case may be. And so we're seeing in real time the effect of there being no kid-friendly resources for children.
Yeah.
So now they're intermingled with intermingled with the adults. It's creating chaos and havoc.
And then they turn around and tell the kids, like, "Oh, stay in a child's place." Like,
they don't even know what that means. I will say, though, what I do appreciate is that there are people who do recognize the barriers and challenges, because just as we talk about, you know, the literacy rate in the city, there are programs, there are organizations, there are people with boots on the ground working directly to combat that problem. There needs to be more, obviously.
Absolutely.
But it's not like there aren't solutions happening. It's just they're on a small scale. You can't help everybody when you're just one person or just one organization.
Yeah, I think that's where we could benefit from seeing more partnerships and more community when it comes to those events or those
innovation.
Type of spaces. Yeah,
I think that, you know, a lot of times we are scared of innovation because we're scared of failure. But there are so many opportunities to take a simple concept and create something innovative from it that can benefit those around you. if people just like there has to be investment in the idea.
Yeah.
Because, you know, Detroit is in such a weird place. Like, as a city, we have our own culture. Like, that's very clear.
Yeah.
And it's very obvious that Detroit's culture has influence, right?
Mm-hmm.
But
Because
then
we set trends, you know.
hello.
We influence the world.
And this is not just nationally, like you said, this is globally. And so you would think, okay, from that, there's no reason why we shouldn't be an innovation hub,
Yeah.
you know, an influence hub, a technology hub, a transportation hub.
Hello, Motor City.
But it's almost like it's stunted in a way because we experience that kind of crabs in a bucket mentality, I think.
Yeah.
Where you know, you can't get out if I can't get out, and so none of us are getting out.
Yeah, I hate that. I feel like one thing to be noted about that type of mentality is if we can say that about Detroit, there's people that say the same thing about their own cities. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like, and it's like at some point we have to recognize it's probably not the city, it's the people.
Well, but see, the thing, what frustrates me about that is I 1,000% agree. You can absolutely say that about any major city, you know, globally, whether it's New York, whether it's London. But what frustrates me about here is that even though people can have those perspectives and their opinions about their own city, they still recognize, and the city is still globally recognized as its value,
Yeah.
or the value that it has. And I don't think Detroit gets that respect or value because we for so long were painted. And that's also something that used to really piss me off when I was a child. I hated hearing how Detroit was like the most violent city in the country. We were number one, you know, highest murder rate. And then like as I'm older and I'm going back and reading statistics from the 2000s and, you know, the 2010s, I'm like, okay, yeah, Detroit wasn't utopia. It wasn't the most safest city in the world, but there were absolutely places that were way more dangerous. They just did not happen to be black.
I was just about to say, I think that research, or like the researchers, I guess I should say, they are equating black and crime.
Yeah, it's an inherent bias. When you see black people, you create that fallacy of black on black crime, and you just assume that, oh, this must be the most dangerous city. And then on top of that, you add the whole bankruptcy piece on that. They say, oh,
they're like,
the
these
blacks.
these niggas are terrible.
The blacks. They're gonna. I really, honestly, truly think that back then people thought that Detroit was self implode. Like they just knew that everybody was just going. It was gonna be. What's that movie? Where they give you like 24 hours or The Purge.
The Purge. Yes. Yeah.
People thought it was gonna be like The Purge, and it didn't. And they were like, huh.
Because there are so many things working against Detroit.
Absolutely.
Like they used to have under, I want to say it was under Coleman Young, they had the rule that if you were like a police officer,
you worked here for the city, you
had to live in the city. And then when they moved the plants out to the suburban areas and people started moving because their jobs were moving, a lot of those people didn't take care of their houses or sell them in the proper way. So that's when we started seeing that part of the reason we started seeing the housing crisis. And then it's just like, when you have all this negative stuff in the news about you, like your mayor be stealing. He having parties at the mansion or whatever. We don't know what's going on in his life. And then you got, you know, people leaving their homes. A little bit of an increase in crime.
City services are dwindling. There's no money and resources. The education system is not succeeding.
Because people stealing from there too.
Yeah. I absolutely agree.
Sickening.
But you know, like, and even tying it back to cannabis, it's so interesting how people love to say, well, you know, they trying to take over Detroit with like weed stores, dispensaries. But I'm like, well, it's like dispensaries are not just here.
Yeah, like have you been anywhere else?
If you drive on the other side of the 8 Mile, I promise you'll find one. Like,
or even like in other states now. Like it's a thing. Like I don't. At some point we have to get with the times. Like even if you are not going to partake and it's not going to be your jam or you know what you do, that's perfectly fine. But you have to understand that for somebody it is their jam.
And this goes back to something else that we talked about too. What a lot of people don't realize is that, yes, while Detroit is a blue collar city, historically, people have attributed that to being a democratic city. Our city politics lean very heavily conservatively
Mhm.
and religiously influenced. And
Yeah.
that,
especially because of I hate to do this to y'all, the age of the people that are voting.
Well,
like,
yeah,
boomers, we did pretty good. We ain't drag
We
y'all
ain't
too
do it
bad
all
this
season.
season. You know, we did
We-
pretty good.
listen,
But
you're
y'all
right.
be tearing a election up sometimes.
Ooh,
Because I ain't gonna say
but
that lady name because
I-
she'll probably put us in jail just for saying her
Okay,
name. But
no.
you already know.
But I will say they get out and vote.
Mhm.
They
do.
one thing they gonna do. They gonna leave their house. They might not vote for who they need to vote for, but they gonna get out and do it.
They probably can't actually see the ballot.
Okay, but
but
they
out there
gonna
trying,
write something in there,
putting us to shame. But
yeah.
I would like to see more of an increase, like we saw when Barack Obama was first running. Like,
Yeah.
you had the musicians that were in, you know, we had, you know, those t-shirts, but I'm pretty sure they
That's why
came
I'm
from that
laughing.
man who I'm not gonna talk about on this podcast because I really get to going. But I miss those types of things,
It
those
was an
types of
energy.
movements.
Yeah, it was an but I think COVID, you know,
Yeah.
disrupted a lot of that. I
It
think
did. It was just a different time. Like, and we were coming out of such a terrible economy, trying to get better. That at that point it had hit those levels where the celebrities were actually probably seeing a little bit of a dent. You know what I mean?
And I think also the times we're in now, we are seeing again that lack of comprehension
Mm-hmm.
where people are consuming media so much more than they were in 2008,
Mhm.
and the media that they're consuming is not necessarily the right kind of media.
Yeah.
Like back in back in the 2000s, we could pretty much assume that if we were reading print newspapers, those were accurate, like
Yeah,
factually
or at least
accurate.
close.
Or if we were watching the news, like some news stations, we could assume, okay, this is unbiased
Mhm.
data or information.
And I feel like that just doesn't exist anymore.
No, absolutely not.
They're all either
Absolutely
one
not.
way or the other, and it's like,
Or just
that's not an accurate.
so far gone that you'll be like, what is happening? Why are we
What
talking about
is actually
aliens?
happening? Okay, like so I'm not a news watcher. I just can't. But when I'm at the gym, they have the
Mhm.
you know, the screens and they have all the news stations on. And one day I was just like on the treadmill and I was like, what the hell is actually on this
Girl,
TV? Matter of
Nobody
fact, I'm gonna
knows.
just pack up my stuff.
Nobody
I'm
knows
outta here.
anymore, and it's insane. And I was actually having this conversation on my business page on Instagram. I was talking to somebody about just like the perception and the idea of content creation in today's society.
Mhm.
Because when we think about content creation now, it's a business, like it's a profession.
Yeah.
Right. Whereas 20, 30 years ago, if you had told somebody, "Oh, I want to be a content creator," they'd have looked at you like
what?
To do, like, as a job? Like, what do you
Okay.
mean? And so like there are certain countries who have now enacted laws and policies that require certain credentials to be able to produce certain content. Like, you have to have certain educational credentials to be
Mhm.
able to produce educational content.
And that's necessary.
And but I will say, just because you got the credentials don't necessarily mean that you are putting out the right
Mhm.
unbiased information, but that at
Because
least
what
gives you
type of
some
credentials
form
do you have?
but it does give you some form of credibility, because we
To
know
an
people-
extent.
I'm
extent.
talking about the
earned
credential. Yeah.
Earned credentials.
Yeah, girl, bye.
I'm just
Please.
listen. I'm
Please.
just throwing it out there. It's been a thing here lately.
But we know, like, when people have the licensure, when they have the actual medical or educational background, that does give them a level of credibility, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they're giving us credible information back. So I want to make that distinction very clear, but this is also making it glaringly obvious that we in the United States are so far behind when it comes to caring about society's needs and progression and innovation.
Mhm.
Like, there are so many, it's just like glaringly different, but nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
Let me not say nobody cares. The people that do care are the minority.
Yeah. And it's like, if we don't band together and actually create something that is sustainable, to assist with that, we're probably just going to keep on seeing those issues. But to your point about content creation, to kind of bring it back to cannabis, I've seen a huge increase of people on TikTok that are like, let's take an edible and go do this.
And they take like 12 edibles.
12? Like, are y'all okay? Are y'all okay? I be in them comments like, are y'all
okay? Go see the lady. Like that ain't normal.
Are you immune at this point? But
gotta be.
I watched this one guy who I am like just obsessed with his content because I think it's hilarious. He will take like 130 milligrams and go for a 13-mile run.
He's trying to see God.
And he'll record like each mile.
I think I've seen his video.
And it's so funny because he'll be going from like, mile 1, mile 2. Then he'll be like lap 3. And then he'll be like mile 4, nonverbal. He just running and looking like, you know, confused.
Yeah, I've seen that.
But I think it's hilarious. I think that it's a good way to get, you know, some stuff out there. But also, I would like to see it be a little bit more
you have to
safe.
Use drugs responsibly. And I know that's crazy to say, but I was listening to another podcast and they were talking about how this lady it's people white people just be doing stuff and you be like, what
why did you do that, white person?
Idea? But she decided that she was going to make like ethical drugs. I think this was out in like California. And so she was going to sell her friends and her community drugs, but she was going to test them. This was like when fentanyl was really starting to kill niggas and it was like mixed in the shit.
Okay.
And she was like, oh, you know, you can get your drugs from me. I am a safe source.
What the hell make her a safe source?
Because they were actually testing like
who was testing it?
She was. Her and her employees. Like this, she opened up a legitimate business.
Were there like any like non-biased testers?
Well, hold on. So you know there are like people. I think there are places where you can like take your drugs to be tested to make sure it's not like laced with fentanyl or it doesn't have any deadly, you know, minus an actual drug part.
Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, but what she started doing is basically started getting greedy, and she started like trying to cut corners, and then somebody ended up dying, and so the feds was like, "Hold on, what's going on?"
Now's the time. Now that someone's dead, for us to step in.
But there are places that you can take your drugs to be tested.
I did not know that.
But also, like, think about how popular Narcan is.
And you know what? I was thinking about that. Like, I do think that Narcan should be more easily accessible and people should be taught how to use it.
Yes.
So like, I'm the type of person, I always want to help people. And I'm like, if I got some Narcan, great. But if I don't know what the hell to do with the Narcan,
right,
this person might die and I'm gonna just be standing here with the Narcan looking stupid. Like maybe it should be included in like CPR classes or something like that, like first aid something.
Yeah.
Especially like, you know, with it becoming more popular and you not knowing what's in certain stuff. And if you're not, you know, exercising your own wisdom to check your stuff out.
This all goes back to investment in
and money,
like investment in resources. Because when we think about policing and when you're dealing with like mental health crisis.
Yeah.
Yes. I couldn't get it out. And how some cities have started to implement like not necessarily police officers, but therapists and other people to respond to potential mental health crisis
as they should,
instead of sending police, you know,
because they're not trained for it. Like police are not trained to handle mental health situations, and nor should they be, like to an extent, because
they should have some type,
they should know enough.
There still has to be a safety element to it, like, you know, because you never know, somebody going through a mental health crisis, you never know what to expect.
Yeah, like it could become violent. But they should also have some, like someone licensed for this.
But also think about how, again, it goes back to money, where states have cut so much mental health funding and so many mental health facilities and hospitals have closed and shut down. These people are now on the streets, right? They're self-medicating.
Yep.
So then you add that drug aspect to a mental health crisis,
and you got a disaster on your
you got
hands.
to, and then you're sending people who are not trained.
And not only are you sending people who are not trained, you're probably sending people that could benefit from the help of a mental health professional. So, like, as much as, you know, people may feel how they want to feel about police and policing and all those things, at the end of the day, police are human. And
you're not born a police officer.
You're not born a police officer, which is why I will never understand Blue Lives Matter, because what the hell is who life is blue? But
I will never forget. I was driving down the road and I got so mad because I seen this on the back of somebody's license plate, and I, like on the back of their window, the little flag,
the little flag with that strip. Please,
who blew?
Who is the Gross sisters?
Okay, hands up.
The Gross sisters matter.
Money out. Okay, literally hands up, money out. Them the only blue people I wreck. Well, and y'all, but
it's the fact that I did not realize the Gross sisters were just supposed to be ashy. Bro. Like, y'all couldn't find a better way to make them ashy than to make them blue. It's crazy.
We're not here to do some stupid shit. I love, man. Again, age appropriate media consumption.
Listen, and the Proud Family is one of the cartoons that got it right when they relaunched.
Yeah, we should have talked about this when we were talking about media that has grown up with us.
Yeah,
but this is what we mean when we talk about age appropriate media consumption. Because granted, it wasn't like the Proud Family was like rudimentary. It still had life lessons in it.
Yeah,
it was still very.
It had
relatable.
Us all beefing with Al Roker.
You know, there was still life lessons.
And Omarion.
But it was enjoyable. It was relatable. It was Black. It was funny. And so that meant something to a lot of us because we could see ourselves in this depiction that's on our TV screens, you know?
Yeah, and it not being just like one Black character. Right. You know, like love Susie Carmichael down.
Yeah.
But my girl had to hold it down by herself.
Ooh, and she was working. She like, I know she had to be like, these white babies, Lord.
I know she was like, here come feeling Will and these little dirty diapers again. Like, I know she was sick of them.
Is that a screwdriver? Where did you get that from? Like,
why do y'all keep having all these kids? That would definitely have been my question.
Okay. Like
I'm tired of y'all. I am stressed. I want to talk about some Black fatigue.
Ooh.
Look at Susie Carmichael. Ooh, I know she was tired.
I know she was working. Okay.
Working day and night.
Because then if something went wrong, whose fault is it?
Okay. Meanwhile, it's Angelica raising hell.
Y'all got this little demon child.
Her and that little ugly doll.
That ain't nobody.
Herself.
Okay, don't nobody see that?
Like nobody else sees her.
I know her
just doing whatever.
You know, that was also propaganda though, because they tried to make her mama seem like a workaholic.
Okay.
Like she was, you know, a businesswoman and she didn't have time for her child.
With that high ponytail.
Her child is a spawn of Satan.
Where was her daddy? Did she have a daddy?
Yeah, I think was he a stay-at-home dad? I feel like he would.
If he was, he sure wasn't at home a lot.
Yeah, I think he was. I think
who home he was staying at.
Hey, bye. He probably was asleep.
Definitely sleep. Like kids in there, they're
okay,
fine.
They'll be all right. Meanwhile, the kids climbing out the window
with screwdrivers in their diapers. Insane work. Nickelodeon do better.
They was trying, but
then I don't know.
Yeah.
Then it get dark. Never mind.
But see,
don't even want to do it.
Like, it's like, yes, we did receive, you know, media that was appropriate for us to consume, and then it started getting to a point where it was like, this feels kind of weird. Something's going on. I don't really know what, but like something feels off, and then we find out 20 years later something was off. Something was off. Weird.
He was a freaking weirdo. And I think a lot of that like stuff that they got away with was as a result of parents just turning on the TV and leaving the kids in there. Because some of that stuff, I feel like if you saw it as an adult, why wouldn't you be like, should my child be watching this?
I also think that, you know, this whole idea of child stardom, while it wasn't new, the way we were experiencing it on a mass scale was new. And so parents were also kind of learning as they went.
Yeah.
Which
heavy on that, especially like for the young, like, you know, I personally come from teenage parents,
Yeah.
so they wouldn't. It was like, do what you do.
But yeah, I think our parents were just they were also learning.
Mhm.
And sometimes we were the test kids, the crash kids.
Heavy on that.
Yeah. And so that kind of got steep to a point. And we, it's interesting now seeing our age group as parents, especially as parents of older children. Cause I'm like,
why? How your kid 21?
Your kid 18 prom.
Okay, graduation.
I'm like, I literally remember when it was born.
Remember when they were born? I was just telling somebody this the other day. One of my friends had a baby when we were, I believe, freshmen in high school.
Mm-hmm.
And we drugged that baby everywhere.
Listen.
Like, we was outside with that baby. And nobody said anything. Like, it was completely normal. And we were just outside with a kid. Like, a bunch of little 14, 15-year-olds just running around with this baby.
I used to have Naya, and I had a car seat. Not a child. I did not have any children, mind you. And I had a car seat ready because I would just be riding around with people kids.
Same. I used to ride around with my little cousin. I used to be like, come on, girl, get in the car. We're going to the mall. We're going to do all the fun stuff. But it was really just everyday stuff. And it's like, why can't she roll with me?
Small children, mind you. And I'm a kid.
Okay.
So it's like, hey.
I was 19 years old, dragging my little cousin around. And I, didn't really realize that children don't really need a lot of sugar. And Quick Trip was having a sale.
Girl.
32-ounce slushies were 32 cents. So, of course, I got her one. And I let her drink the whole thing. I never dropped the baby off so fast. I said, oh, girl, you got to go. You're going back to your parents immediately because I'm tired. What do you mean you're in the back seat just bouncing off the walls?
Child.
Absolutely.
You remember that picture I had posted from when I was coaching in PAL and I looked like one of them kids?
Oh, my God.
Girl, and them kids used to be in my car rolling like we was all just bouncing around. We are all children. Where are we going?
I just remember us being locked in that freaking lock-in. And they would not let us out talking about go get your parents.
Listen, so in one of my many past lives, I used to coach PAL, right? And most people who know me, I look very young, right? Just in general. So imagine if I look young now, imagine how I looked like 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Crazy. And so they asked us to chaperone for like a couple hours the homecoming dance for the kids, right? Easy. No problem. Like it's like a kiddie cabaret.
We had a whole plan. Like, we got our club fits on. We done made them, age appropriate, but we turn it up when we leave here.
It's our shift over. So I'm like, bet, you ready? She said, yeah, we get ready to walk out. And I think it was one of the coaches at that.
Yeah.
He's standing at the door like, I can't let y'all leave. And I'm thinking he joking. What do you mean? Let
us out.
He like, no, y'all parents need to get permission for y'all to leave. I said,
my parents are not coming. Why? Because I'm grown.
I have a driver's license. My car is outside. We're leaving.
We're out of here.
And mind you, the kids behind me like, this is our coach. Like, let her run.
And then I'm just there. I'm like, at this point, I'm about to be the stranger that turned this place up. Let us out of here.
Because why is you holding us hostage at this point? I do not want to be around these kids any longer.
But remember the celebration cabarets they would have? What a time. What a time.
But that's also a culture that I feel like has disappeared. And it's probably due to COVID because COVID's ruined a lot of things.
Yeah, and who the league is associated with.
That too. That too. I don't even think that league doesn't exist in the context.
Not in the same context, I don't think. Because there's so many other like
people
smaller
they're
leagues.
like splinters.
Listen, and so many people be trying to get us to come out of retirement.
Man, listen.
Y'all.
The patience that I had then is not the patience I have now.
No, not at all.
And my problem wasn't even the kids.
It's always the parents. It's always the parents.
The parents.
Always the parents. I think the most awkward thing though, or not even awkward, like just the funniest thing to me now is like seeing them grown.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I want to be like, yo, don't wear that. But I'm like,
one of my girls
21.
To me like, Forever 21. She was like, hey, coach. I was like,
coach.
Who is this woman?
Coach. And I got one that's now my sorority sister. I'm like, this is
very
crazy.
Weird. Yeah.
But hey, shout out to us for doing it right.
Listen,
and
giving back to our community.
at a young age, we were so young doing that. Like, what, 22, 23?
Younger than that. I was coaching in like 19.
Yeah, no, I wasn't coaching that young. But I also wasn't here.
Yeah, I was.
So
I
our
was
leagues was a little
19
different.
on the east side.
I was still on that college cheer scholarship. I'm like, I ain't coaching nobody. Somebody coach me.
I was on the east side, thugging it out in my PT Cruiser.
Oh, that PC Cruiser was fun.
Gotta
And
see some
Fabio, the
things.
Fiesta.
Okay.
That was great.
Were we in the Fiesta when we almost got into that car accident?
Which time? You talking about when we slid in the ditch?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were in the Fiesta. Which was, shall we tell that story to
No.
close it out?
No.
I think we should.
No.
I think we should give the people what they want to know. We should give the people what they want to know.
Why?
I don't know.
See, you
'Cause
don't
it's
have a good
funny.
reason.
It's because it's great. It's honestly a great story.
Is it?
It was a great time. We were going to a
Company Christmas party,
but it was snowing like a lot.
the snow of today ain't got nothing on what. I don't know what was happening then.
And neither of us had cars with 4-wheel drive, all-wheel drive, barely front-wheel drive. To be honest, at that time, we were in our 20s.
I was driving a Ford Fiesta.
And we were driving said Fiesta from downriver to downtown and just slid right into a ditch on 75. Just right into
There were
it.
like multiple there were multiple cars in the ditch. So it wasn't even like it was just my car. It was just like you
in the ditch.
every
You in
mile,
the ditch.
everybody just sitting there chilling cause
It was how smooth we like just slid into it because neither one of us panicked. It was just like, "Phew." And it's like, oh, okay. And then we saw some firefighters, and I'm like, oh my God, man, they're coming to help us. She's like, they're not coming to help us.
There are so many people in ditches. They are not worried about us right now.
I'm like, yes, they are. They're coming to help us. Your car's little. Like, we can get out of here. It's fine. They help us. We get back on the freeway. Now, adults with fully developed frontal lobes would have went home.
Because we wasn't really that far. I feel like we could have turned around.
We were probably like 10 minutes from my house at the time. But we decided to still go to the party. And just slip and slide all the way downtown. Had a great time. I would do it again. And I also was on the big screen at your job party just dancing. I'm like, I don't even work here.
That was the last year that they the company,
probably they said these girls are terrible.
Bad idea.
Yeah, it was great.
Bad idea.
It was me like just not knowing anybody. I'm pretty sure at one point in time I was in the middle of a dance circle, like having a dance battle with strange people.
Probably
wouldn't be the first time.
Hey, shout out to that company party. That was a blast.
That was a great time.
Free food, open bar.
Can't stand that owner now though.
Yeah, he can rock.
Kick rocks, buddy.
And never mind. I ain't gonna say that
for that mess he just did.
I ain't gonna say what I was
thinking.
I'm gonna
up
say
with
it off
you.
camera. Anyway, you got anything you want to share?
I don't think so. Actually, I don't think I have anything coming up. Yeah, no, I don't think I got nothing.
Okay.
You got anything you want to share?
No.
Well, I'm not doing this whole spiel. It's the last episode of so we're not doing all that. But thank you all so much for holding us down this season. It has been a great time. I hope that you all have enjoyed our new setup here and seeing our lovely faces because you guys have been asking us for a few years. So shout out to y'all for sticking it out with us. And we will see y'all next season.
Okay.
Bye,
the
guys.
new kids are out.